What's going on, guys? Welcome back to today's second stimulus check update and stimulus package news. Today, we finally have confirmation about the second stimulus check and how Congress feels about the American people. The other day, Senate Republicans proposed a new stimulus package. This new bill, which I'll read you the name of this act in just a second. However, this is expected to pass through the Senate and is most likely to be held up inside the House. This bill, it's a little bit of a long name, it's called the Delivery Immediate Relief to America's Families, Schools, and Small Businesses Act. Now, however, reading through this bill, there is not much immediate relief to the American family. I'm going to address that in just a second. I'm going to go through it in just a couple minutes. But yesterday, there was also another bill that was passed by the House. What they voted on was a relief package for the United States Postal Service. It's a $25 billion package, and I will explain that in a minute. However, today is Sunday, August 23rd, so hopefully you're having a wonderful weekend. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about the second stimulus check, so I want to address that first. In this new bill proposed by Senate Republicans, it doesn't include a second stimulus check. It's not there. However, it does leave the door open for Democrats to come back and request it to be added through negotiations. And that's what many experts are predicting, is that Republicans knew going into this that Democrats are going to have more demands. And so instead of giving them exactly what they want, and knowing how Democrats usually negotiate, is they always ask for more. Whether you give them $1 billion, they're going to ask for $2 billion. But that's not just a Democratic thing. That's with anybody. That's human nature. You ask for as much as you can get. Now, this new proposal is expected to pass through the Senate, like I already said, but it is expected to be held up inside the House because it currently does not meet Democratic demands. Now, this is what's included in this proposal, in this bill. We finally do have the text on this, so that's great. But what's included is $105 billion for schools, $300 per week in that federal unemployment boost, and that will go until December 27th. We also have a second round of PPP funding. We also have $10 billion for United States Postal Service, which, if you remember, it's $10 billion right now through this bill. However, yesterday, the House passed a bill that is going to give $25 billion to the United States Postal Service, which, again, that bill is not expected to pass through the Senate. And this bill that the Republicans have is not expected to pass through the House. They also have funding for testing and tracing. That is essential to beat this COVID-19 pandemic. Now, what is not included in this bill, and you probably already guessed it, you probably already know what it is. Now, these things, these items I'm going to list right here, these would actually provide immediate relief to American families. This bill, the name of this bill, Delivering Immediate Relief to America's Families, Schools, and Small Businesses Act, it doesn't do what it says. Okay, it just doesn't. Yes, it provides some relief to schools and small businesses, but it can't be immediate relief if Democrats are not going to pass this, which I don't think they will pass, and most experts don't think they'll pass either. Now, here's what was not included. A second stimulus check. That $1,200 stimulus check to filers and their spouse, and $500 per dependent was not included. Also, which was not included, is hazard pay for essential workers. Hazard pay is included in the HEROES Act. It wasn't included in the HEALS Act. However, many people that have been essential workers, have been working through this entire pandemic, are feeling like they're left out, feeling like they've been stepped on, feeling like they get the last of little bits that are left. And that's pretty much what's happening. Essential workers have pretty much been forgotten by Congress. Also, there's no more EIDL funding. If you remember the EIDL program, it gave small businesses or people that were self-employed $1,000. There was $1,000 in free money. It was a grant in advance. There's no more funding for that. So these small businesses that went through that money, used it for their business, and now are struggling again. There's no more money for you unless you can get in on that PPP funding. Also, there's no money for food. There is no eviction ban extension, and there's no rental assistance. These are two big things, eviction and rental assistance. There was no eviction ban extension, which means the only eviction ban extension was what President Trump did through his executive orders, which Larry Kudlow and many people have stated are not working. Now, like I already stated, this new proposal is expected to be heavily countered by Democrats, which would in turn keep any additional stimulus and any future help or further help, keep it from the American people for even longer. The hardest part about all these stimulus negotiations is we're coming up very close to election time, and also the American people need money more now than ever before. And Congress is so slow at giving any additional funding, any additional help to the American people, to the people that are voting them in office. Now, here's some good news. Based on multiple reports, experts predict that the second stimulus check will be included in the next stimulus package due to the fact that both parties have agreed that a second stimulus check is needed and most American people would really use it. However, both parties right now seem more worried about playing a political game than actually being open and honest with the American people about their true intentions of their proposed bills or their actions. And that's one of the things I find most irritating right now is it doesn't matter what article you read, what interview you listen to, what press conference you are watching. It doesn't matter who's speaking. You have to read between the lines. You have to know the entire story, or else just what they say in that specific time, that day, could completely change your mind about them. And the problem is, again, it's a political game. They're trying to run for office. They're trying to make Democrats look better. They're trying to make Republicans look better. They want Joe Biden to win the presidency. They want President Trump to reclaim his seat, his throne. That is what they're fighting for. And it's us, the American people, that are caught in the middle. So like I already stated, the House yesterday voted and passed a $25 billion fund for the United States Postal Service. This money is also in addition to preventing any changes from taking place until 2021. Now, the reason why they're doing this and they wanted to get this out quickly, many people said it was because the United States Postal Service needed this money. However, that's not necessarily the case. The United States Postal Service will have money and funds available to them for a little while. They didn't need this $25 billion to happen today. And it's actually not going to happen because Republicans have to pass this through the Senate as well. Now, here's the problem, is that these changes were only done based on what was being said. These changes were only made to cut costs. However, Democrats looked at this as these changes were made to prevent other Democrats from voting and possibly getting Joe Biden into the president's seat. Well, who knows? We don't know what the true intention was. We just know what people are saying. Like I already stated, this bill was passed by the House and is expected to stall in the Senate. The Senate has no plans of coming back to vote on this bill early. They just don't have any plans to do that. They haven't said if they will or not, but with most people, based on, predictions and based on just what's happening right now, the Senate is not coming back to vote on this particular bill. They will come back to vote on their own proposal, but not this bill that was passed by the House. They will not come back early from their August recess. However, this coming week is the RNC, which means that Republicans are not going to do any work between Monday and Thursday. And chances are not Friday either. However, many experts predict that after the RNC, the Senate will come back to vote on their own proposal. So that will be sometime not this coming week, but the week after. And again, this proposal is expected to pass through the House or through the Senate because Republicans, it seems like they are all on board with this $500 billion proposal. However, it will get hung up in the House, which again means we will be left without any additional help, any additional stimulus, and more families and Americans will suffer. Moving forward, this is what you need to understand. That Congress is going to play games. They are messing with each other. They're using the media to point fingers to try to get everyone involved to look bad. Republicans want Democrats to look bad. Democrats want Republicans to look bad. President Trump seems like he is getting the brunt of pretty much all the talks, right? He seems like he is the worst of the worst, based on what Democrats say. But then Republicans come out and say, well, he's doing this and that, and he did do an executive order, which is going to get many people that are on unemployment an additional $300 per week for anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks. Also, he did try to do some type of eviction ban extension. It didn't work out very well. He did try to do his payroll tax deduction or tax deferral, which many businesses are not even going to try to do that because it's going to be a headache. However, he did try to do something. So, am I taking President Trump's side there? He did act. He did do what he was going to do, what he said he was going to do. He'd try to do whatever he could. Now, it's not all on him. Congress has to step up. Both Republicans and Democrats need to step up. It doesn't matter what the president wants. Congress is the one that can actually issue new money. Now, here's my promise to you. Over the next few days, over the next couple weeks, I know many people are wondering, what is going on? Are they going to receive any new stimulus check, any new stimulus, any new additional money? How is this going to work if they're still on unemployment? When is their additional funding going to come in? So here's my promise to you. I promise every single day I will do a stimulus check update and a stimulus package update video. That's my promise. Also, I am going to include multiple videos on how you can make money online for free. Simple ways and more advanced ways. So make sure you check those out along with the stimulus check updates. My other promise to you is I'm going to put together a completely new course. I might offer this for free for people that are watching my stimulus check videos just to help you out and get you on that path to making money, because I know most people right now are struggling. So if there's anything I can do for you, please comment down in the comment section below. Let me know, what can I do? What questions do you have? And I will try to help you out the best that I can. But again, thanks for watching today's second stimulus check update and stimulus package update video. If there's anything I can do for you, please ask it down in the comment section below. Like always, thanks for watching today's video. Do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys on the next one.